Vroom, vroom, vroom. It's like, you like those sound effects?
What do you do when one person goes faster than the other? You know, whether it's physically, sexually, in the personal growth department, or ambition-wise in the areas of life. You know, what do you do? Well, that's what this video is about.
We've all had those times where we're in relationship with someone and they're just not going at the same pace or the same speed, or their interest in something just isn't the same as yours. And it feels awkward, it feels distant, it feels different. And one of the ways that this kind of manifests in our relationship, which is kind of instructive and I think helpful as we kind of tell this story, is when Susie and I take walks together. Because what happens is, I start out really slow, and then I start gathering steam.
And you know, I start out strong and steady, and pretty soon I'm far ahead of him. But then at the end, he's pulling me along. So we are completely not in sync like that. And you know, isn't that the way it is with a lot of relationship issues? I know we've had similar kinds of issues where we're just not in sync. You know, one person's way far out ahead and another person's trying to catch up, and then they're going another direction. So, you know, what do you do when that happens?
Because this can be incredibly frustrating. And, you know, if you're talking about success and ambitions and things like that, it can feel like the partner isn't as ambitious as you are. It can feel like they don't care about getting ahead in the world. It can be about something like deciding or choosing when to have children. It can be about deciding, you know, when and where to retire. So there's all kinds of ways. It can be physically. It can be sexually, where one person is further advanced or has desires in one area or another, and the other person doesn't. And this can be a big problem, these differences in people.
Yeah, I think that they can be like big life changes, like empty nest syndrome, when your kids go off and oh, two of you are together and now what do we do?
Right.
Or maybe, you know, their physical problems. One person has something really, you know, chronically wrong with them. Or maybe menopause, you know, you're going through menopause and you're just not in sync with anybody. Or it can be big differences that people in their 20s and 30s, you know, have always, those differences have always been there.
It can even be something like child raising, of how to raise children and your ideas about that.
Sure, and I think where it manifests a lot of times is one person wants to put a lot of interest and growth in the relationship, and the other person says, oh, I just like it the way it is. Then what do you do?
Yeah. Well, you've got a couple of different ways that you can look at this. Is you can get mad at each other and make them wrong for being different, or you can look at it as, wow, this is really interesting, and start to get curious about it, and then start to really work it out and come from this place of true love and understanding, because that's where you want to keep the connection. Because if you continue to make the other person wrong, or make them somehow, you know, belittle them, or, you know, get mad at them all the time, that's not going to foster love and connection and passion and all those things that you want in a relationship.
And it's not going to make them change, believe me.
You've tried.
I've tried. It doesn't work. So we have 4 ways that you can take action if you feel your partner isn't really keeping up with you in some area.
So our first suggestion that we want to make to you is find out what's really important to you. What kind of life do you want? What kind of life does your partner want? And then focus on creating that life that you want.
Yeah, and talk to him about what it is that is important to you. And you know, I think here comes a big kicker. You listen to him. You know, he may have he may have some real challenges, and don't make suggestions. You know, just sit and listen.
Right.
And you can ask if he wants suggestions, but listen and see what it is he wants for his life. And in those areas that you feel you're just way too far apart.
What you want to do is you want to find what we call the overlap. I mean, if your life is a circle and his life is a circle, then find the places where there's an overlap. And that's what we've done in our relationship. That's what we recommend that a lot of our coaching clients do, and the people we work with, is find that place where there is the interest and the connection and the desire, and where the two of you are totally in sync, instead of focusing on those places where you may not be in sync, or you may not be at the same level or going at the same pace as each other is.
Yeah, take for instance if there's a physical challenge and he's not up to doing some things you'd like to do. Well, find some things that you'd like to do together, and also go out and there are meetup groups that you can join and do some things with some other people. So take care of your needs, but also focus on what is the overlap. How can we enjoy each other?
Yeah.
And number 4 is take a judgment out of the whole thing and discover ways to have fun together.
Oh, yeah.
It may mean that he wants something entirely different in life than you do, and you can't quite come together, and so you might explore not being with him. But before you do that, what do you do, Otto?
Well, before you even think about leaving or splitting up what could be a totally amazing relationship in many other ways, then before you do all that, start exploring and really open to finding ways to reconnect and love in creative ways. And look, as we said earlier, look for that overlap and start to be creative, because your mind, a lot of times, it's where you focus your attention. That's where your energy goes. And so if you're focused on how bad it is, judging him for being different, either if he's too far ahead of you in some ways or far behind, that's not going to work. And so definitely explore ways to reconnect and find that love and connection again, because we know that's where the magic is.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the red subscribe button that you see here on YouTube. It's right there below this video. That way you'll be notified when we release other videos right here on our Susie and Otto channel. Also, be sure and go to our website, which is susieandotto.com. You see the web address right there on your screen, but it's Susie, SUSIEAND, Otto, OTTO.com. Go there and subscribe to our emails, because we release a lot of amazing and valuable content totally free right there on our Susie and Otto website and blog that we don't post anywhere else. So we don't want you to miss out on anything. That would be tragic. So go there now, subscribe to our emails, and as always, we thank you for watching this video, and we wish you much love and nothing but the best.